Aeneid, Book 4, 659 to 679. So when we last saw and translated, we saw that Dido was given her argument. Aeneas responded with his crappy wooden argument. We have a few hundred lines of going back and forth. Finally, we see that Dido, having stretched upon her couch, Dixit, she spake, and having impressed her face, right? So impreor, this is os would be accusative of respect to the bodies, having been pressed. It's also it's like the Greek middle when Virgil uses the passive. Upon the couch, probably having been impressed in respect to her face to the couch. She says in the volative subjunctive, that's why it's an E there, let us, or pardon me, it's future indicative, we shall die unavenged. But Moriamer, this is the volative subjunctive, let us die, ite, she says. Thus, it pleases to go under the shades. Cruel Dardanus, the cruel Trojan, Aeneas, let him drink. Notice the subjunctive, volative, ablative means phrase, with his eyes, hunc ignem, this fire, object phrase, from the deep. Probably he's on the water already. And volative subjunctive, let him take with him the omens of our death. Obviously, when you started on a trip, the Romans were very serious about not having ill omens. So someone dying as you're about to take a trip, this was her way to finally get back at him. She had spoken, and amongst the middle of such things, probably words is a good way, her companions behold her having fallen, probably dative, on the sword, and they also viewed the blade, oh, here's some bloody stuff, spumantem, foaming with cruor, with gore and blood, and her blood-stained hands, accusative plural. A cry goes to the high halls, or the high atria, and fame, back to reputation, Bacator, runs wildly like a baccant, just like Dido was, through the struck city. So obviously when your leader kills herself, it's a major thing. With lamentings, and with groan, and with feminine ululation, which is shrieking, the palace resounds. So the palace resounds with the Greek, ablative means phrase. The sky resounds. Again, we have resounds, right? Frementus roar, resounds with great plangoribus, lamentations or strikings upon the chest in grief, not other than if, with the enemies having been let in, just like Troy, all Carthage, or the ancient Tyre falls into ruin. So, would fall into ruin. Probably that's why that's a subjunctive. And the furying, raging flames would roll. This is a subjunctive, present subjunctive. Deliberative, you could say, but probably potential. Through the culmina, lofty things of men and of the gods. Oh, so she dies to get back at him in her anger. Her sister Adiwit, this is syncopated, heard, and what can we say about the sister? It's heard, right? So we have some ablatives, right? Appalled, breathless, trepid course, with trepid course, foedans, marrying her face with her nails. Oh, that's nice. So her sister heard, this is exanimis, with breathlessness, and appalled. she, marrying her face with her nails, scratched her nails, and her breasts with her fists, she rushes through the middle, notice masculine, so it's people here, and she shouts the dying sister. She calls the dying sister by name. What is that? This? What is that? This? Oh, my sister. In other words, what's going on here? Um, were you seeking to Were you seeking me fraudulently? Were you getting me here on a pretext for Iste, that effing pyre of thine? Was it this was it this esting pyre by this? What, was that effing pyre this thing? This the fires and the altars were preparing for me. What shall I complain of first? Having been deserted, Maurice, nay, did you show in death, or dying, I think, dying? Did you scorn your sister, your companion? Woka wisses, notice it's a syncopated form of the pluperfect. You should have called me to the same fate. Not so much that she killed herself, but you should have brought me with you. That same grief and that same hour would have, borne both of us, feminine types, by the sword. Did I ever? So that's some serious stuff, right? So nice, little rough on the grammar there with those hooks. So we'll have to look at that in class a bit more. But enjoy your translation.